Hey you guys, it's me Keisha Bee. I am back with another video. Yep, I am making steak. It has been not highly requested, but I got a couple of emails from my meat eaters, red meat eaters, carnivores, saying that I've been a little discriminatory with preparing meats. So although I do not consume red meat, I will prepare it. I am planning to make this steak for my cousin and take it over to his house. Now this is a different kind of video because I'm not doing a voiceover. I'm going to be talking my way through this video, so I'm going back and forth between the few ingredients that I will be using to prepare this steak. So to season my steak, I'm just going to be using some kosher salt, just a little bit for both sides. Remember to season both sides of your protein. I'm also going to be using a little bit of black coarse pepper. That's a peppercorn medley. It's already in a grinder, and as you can see in this small bowl, I have already mixed it up. To coat my steak, I am going to be using 100% grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil has a very high smoke point, and because I'm going to be searing both sides of my steak, I don't want them to completely burn. I just want to get a sear on both sides. And so this is the steak. It has perfect marbling. Marbling is the fat in the steak, and you want that. It's a whole lot of flavor. Just because I don't eat steak doesn't mean that I've not tasted a steak before. Steak is delicious, however, I just don't eat red meat. I stopped eating red meat a long time ago. But anyway, this is a ribeye Angus steak. I'm not quite sure how many ounces it is. I know that it's just under a pound. I picked it up today from my local market. I made sure that I left it out of the refrigerator because it is very important that you cook your steak at room temperature. That is going to give you the best flavor, and it's also going to give you a very tender steak. So without further ado, let's get right into making this steak. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is take that grapeseed oil and I'm going to generously coat the steak with it. Make sure I get all over the steak, all on the sides of it, because like I said, you want to make sure that you don't burn the steak. And as I'm looking at my pan that's off to the side, I can see that it's starting to smoke. So now that I've gotten that nice and coated, I'm just gonna sprinkle both sides with seasoning. This is the kosher salt and black peppercorn medley that I mixed together. Just going to do both sides real good. This is a pretty thick piece of steak, so you want to make sure that you season it good because you don't want it to be bland. So now that my pan is smoking, I don't know if you can see that that's smoking. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon of butter in the pan, but before I do that, I'm going to add the rest of that grapeseed oil to the pan and spread that around, and then add the butter. Just gonna help that along. Anyway, my cousin also likes mushrooms and onions, so in a separate pan off to the side, you can't see that, I'm adding some butter to that pan because I'm going to caramelize some onions and mushrooms. So I'm going to take this steak and I'm going to lay it down away from me so that the butter and oil doesn't splash on me and burn my body. No. So I'm going to basically leave that to go in the pan for about 5 minutes. I want to make sure that the sear on there is nice and crispy, and I'm not going to touch it. So I'm going to go to the other side. So the butter over here with the olive oil, I'm going to caramelize these, and I'm putting that in the pot, or in the pan I should say. And then I'm going to add some mushrooms, just regular baby bella mushrooms that's already sliced. He loves mushrooms and he loves onions. So my cousin is like A1. He's one of the coolest guys I know. always just available. You know what I mean? You don't find too many people like that. Just available, super nice, super funny. And like I said, since I don't eat red meat, and he literally lives like 20 minutes from me, I decided I was going to make a steak for him and also record it for my channel. So let me go ahead and check the steak. I'm gonna take my tongs. I'm gonna look at, it's got a good sear, but not yet. Not yet. Not yet. This is a pretty thick steak, so I don't want to rush it along. So I'm gonna give it about another 2 minutes or so. Also going to actually use some more of the seasoning that I had for the steak over the onions and mushrooms. The salt is going to draw out the water in the onions as well as the mushrooms, and that's going to help them to cook and caramelize. And it takes quite a bit of time to get your onions caramelized. You want to kind of move them around, keep stirring. Okay. So now I'm gonna check the other side. See that? Now I'm gonna leave this to sear on the other side for another 4 to 5 minutes. And then I'm going to put this steak in my oven, which I have set to 450 degrees. And I'm going to let the rest of it finish cooking in the oven. I'm not quite sure if my cousin likes his steak rare, medium well done. I'm just gonna cook the steak the way I normally cook it, which is in between medium well and well done. So these are the onions and mushrooms that I'm going to pair with the steak. My cousin's gonna love that. Okay guys, I finished basting the steak. It's pretty much done. I put it on this plate to rest, and I'm going to cover it. Like they say on like the cooking channel, all of the juices can redistribute throughout the steak. And that's gonna make it even more flavorful. So while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna go back over to my other pan. So you basically just want to sweat your onions out, and it's okay if a few of them look, you know, more caramelized than others, just as long as they're still soft. And this pan is off. I like to use cast iron skillets because they hold their heat even long after you turn the eye off. The residual heat can kind of keep cooking whatever it is that you are preparing, and it just kind of keeps it warm. Okay, so once I have allowed the steak to rest and allowed the juices to redistribute throughout the steak, I will add some compound butter to the steak. Compound butter is basically just butter and herbs that you add. You allow your butter to get room temperature and mix in fresh herbs like parsley, basil, thyme. You can add rosemary. I only added basil, thyme, and fresh parsley, and also garlic. So I just cut a piece. That's basically what it looks like. That's compound butter. Once you roll it up in saran wrap and allow it to chill and harden. And so I just cut a little piece off and add that right to the steak. And the steak will, the hot steak will cause the compound butter to melt. And so I'm going to also make this steak look a little prettier by adding some fresh parsley to it. I'm going to take this over to my cousin's house. Just like that. Move it over a little bit. Garnish it with, maybe I'll do some on the other side too. Just like that. Or is that too much? Is that doing too much? I don't like the way that looks. So So that's pretty much it, you guys. Nice, tender, juicy, seared steak with that compound butter on top. I cannot wait to take this steak to my cousin. I really hope he enjoys it. Again, you can always pair your steak with any side of your choice. In this case, my cousin loves mushrooms and onions, but you can add mashed potatoes, a side salad, or veggies, whatever you choose to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for more videos. Remember, if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and like this video, and I hope that you will come back. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.